my family went with my brother and his youngest kid to the family reunion. And then on that Sunday coming back, there was a terrible dust storm that just kicked up and just covered the highway. Just a big black wall. Just, I'm sure it was terrifying. I don't know, but it caused a 22 car pileup. Just a brutal, nasty car accident, and it killed 8 people. And 5 of those 8 people were our family. So I lost my wife, Courtney, and my son, Riggins, and my daughter, Frankie, and my brother, Race, and my nephew, Ryder. They were all gone. My son, Blue, our middle child, Blue, he survived the car accident. Not really sure how, but he had a couple cuts on his head, and he had a broken hand. But they pulled him out of that car somehow, and I don't really know what he saw, what he experienced, or what he remembers, but Blue survived. And I remember because they said, hey, there's one survivor. We're life flighting him to the hospital in Salt Lake. So I'm 4 hours away, so I got to drive 4 hours to get there. And I remember, you have so many thoughts going through your head on that car ride. But I remember thinking, like, if the guy who called me, he said there's just one survivor. So I don't even know if it was from my car or just in general. I don't even know whose kid it is. They just said 3-year-old kid, blonde hair, blue eyes. And my 3-year-old had blonde hair, blue eyes. So I was just kind of hoping it was Blue. But I don't know. And I remember thinking, dude, like, if Blue's not alive, like, I can't be here. Like, I need to be dead. Like, I remember having that thought. And it's weird because you're so broken. So you just kind of flip through denial, anger, shock, bargaining. You just kind of flip through all those emotions. But every 20 minutes, that thought would pop into my head. Like, if this isn't Blue, like, I'm putting a bullet in my head. Like, I'm done. But I get to the hospital, and Blue's alive, and spent the night with my son in my arms, and never saw the rest of my family again. That was July 25th, 2021. So that was about 20 months ago. We're coming up on the 2-year mark. And you want me to keep going, or should I stop? Or
No, I'm just trying to, like, it's like I knew your story, but hearing you say it, and telling me one-on-one is just a entirely different reaction. So just don't mind. I'm just trying to collect myself a little bit.
And then, like, dude, I never seen my dad cry in my entire life. And like that night, and so I'm in the hospital holding my kid, and I think I just stared at the wall for however long. I just, you're just in complete shock. And then the grief hits you in waves. And like, my dad was in the hospital room with me that night, and my mom was too. And my dad would get up to the bathroom, and I don't know if he didn't think I could hear him, but he was just wailing, just crying, sobbing, like sounds you didn't even think a human could make, really. And it was my dad. And it like, reality, it just is weird. Like, it's hard for it to set in, but when it does, it's a real son of a bitch. And then it leaves. And that's a weird thing with acceptance. Like, when people think of the stages of grief, like anger, denial, bargaining, depression, accept, like, whatever it is, I don't even know the order, because it doesn't fucking matter, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Sorry if I didn't ask you about language, but
Don't worry about it. Let it loose.
but dude, like, the thing with, back to the acceptance thing, like, okay, it's not like you just do these stages of grief and then you get to acceptance and like, oh, like I'm done. I did. It's not like you graduated high school. Like you throw your hat in the air, like we're done with the trauma. No, like you're screwed. The trauma is going to be there your whole life. And the weird thing with acceptance is like, David, I have days where I can accept it. I can. I can get out of bed, like, okay, this is my reality. It happened. What can I do? What can I control? What's in my power of control? Those are my good days. Those are the best days that I can have. Or how can I make this terrible situation good? What good can come from it? Let's try to do that because that's in our power. But dude, like other days and other moments, you can't accept it, man. I don't want to accept it. It's not fair. It's bullshit. And we weren't perfect people, but like we were good people, man. I was a good husband. I was a good father. Like innocent kids. You kidding me? Like it doesn't make any sense. And on the days I can't accept it, those are the shitty days, dude, where you're just feeling sorry for yourself. Why me? And you're just kind of wrapped in the grief, and it's really shitty.
So on those days, what have you found yourself doing to get through the days that you don't feel like you accept it?
Um, well, I used to drink, or drugs, or I'd take like I'd call my brother, sister, parents, in laws, whoever, like, hey, can you come watch Blue? I'd take sleeping pills at 1 in the afternoon, just like I'm done for the day. I used to punch myself. I just right here, I just unload on myself. I thought I could knock myself out, but I don't. I can't. I couldn't. But it'd just get all black eyish. But then
Mm.
like at least it'd get this pain would get my mind off the other pain, but not really. But like I thought maybe it could.
Right,
It was
I
not
got you.
good, not good. But
No.
now what I do, um, I talk. I tell people, man, like, dude, it hurts, man, and it doesn't get better. Time doesn't heal all wounds. That's bullshit. Like, it hurts, man. And when you tell people, there's just something about it, dude. I can't even really explain it, but all I know is I tell someone I hurt and I feel less hurt. um, and I do things for other people. So instead of drinking, I would hop on my one wheel and I'd go downtown Salt Lake and I'd hand out food to homeless people, or I'd someone just lost their kid. I'd get cookies and go to their house and just anything I could to just do something that wasn't about me. And dude, the thing with trauma, it makes you so selfish, dude. It makes you so selfish because trauma is you're just thinking about your pain, and so you don't really have time to think about anyone else's pain. Like why even give a shit? Like I'm hurting really bad. And so
Mm.
what I've learned is if I don't think about me, we is greater than me. And what I found, it's the whole Jesus thing, honestly. It's the story of Jesus, which is ironic for me because I don't even believe in God necessarily. But yeah, it's like help other people, love your neighbor, love your enemy, and those two things. So back to
Mm.
your question, I tell people and I try to help people, and yeah, that's kind of what's helped. But and then I guess I just kind of I'm learning to be easier on myself and be like, Mace, you've been doing good. You can have a shitty day. Like, yeah, you can be mad and just cry and just feel it. And I've gotten better at just being sad and then just being done being sad and trying to do something good.
You know, you mentioned when when you first heard the news and you were trying to wait on the news to see if your son survived, and if you were saying if he didn't, you wouldn't be here anymore. And coupled with the idea of innocent kids, your whole family, what is the shift of your perspective comparatively to, or even when you found out that your son was alive, and the why me questions? How did this shift your perspective on life, like the unexplainability of why something like this would happen?
So a lot of people ask me, like, what have you learned? And there's few things that I've actually learned, like that I had no clue about before. And like I actually like wow, like something brand new that I learned. There's a couple, but it's It's more of the perspective. It's just shifted my whole perspective. And it's not necessarily like we before me. I knew that. I grew up playing basketball. I knew the importance of teamwork, but now I see it totally different way. So I think it's just the whole perspective shift. Like, let me give you a quick story of like how my perspective shifted. So this was probably just after the funeral with my family. So this is pretty quick after the accident. So I'm still in it pretty good. And I'm driving and I see a homeless family to my right as I'm turning. And um, dad, mom, couple kids running around behind him, corner of like a gas station. Guy has a sign up. And I just remember, like, dude, that looks awesome. Like, that looks like heaven on earth to me. Like, I would do anything to be homeless with my family. That looks like Christmas morning. It looks awesome. It leaves. You know, that's a weird thing with acceptance. Like when people think of the stages of grief, like anger, denial, bargaining, depression, accept, like whatever it is, I don't even know the order because it doesn't fucking matter, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Sorry if I didn't ask you about language, but
Don't worry about it.